Well, here we are. Just 4 races remain here in the Moonshiners Racing League, the OB Builders Cup Series. As we start to wind down the season, well, we're winding up the competition, the excitement, everything is moving forward, and it is going to be an exciting finish. Welcome to the round 8 here for the Ram 302 here at Las Vegas. Well, we have come a long way. It's been a while. I feel like I'm a different person than when we started this thing. And boy, it's been fun to see it all the way to the finish. And just 4 races remain before we crown a champion at Phoenix on November 13th. And still a lot of racing left to go. We see you got Vegas this week, Homestead, and then Martinsville following the actual NASCAR schedule. And tonight, though, all about Las Vegas. Let's take a look at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in Las Vegas, Nevada. I mean, where else would it be? Las Vegas, Texas? No, going to be Las Vegas, Nevada. You see 20 degrees in the turns, 1.5 miler. Not a quad oval. It's a traditional D-shaped oval, and it is a fast and fun track. And I tell you what, one of the better 1.5 milers on the service here tonight. And this car is built perfect for it. I can't wait to see how these guys navigate this track, especially with an open setup. But, of course, we're talking about playoffs. That's always going to be an issue as we get down here to the end. And Randy Mullins, look at that, 29, but basically 30 points above the cutoff thanks to his regular season, all the stage wins that he's had. Kenny Coppola there with 16 above the cutoff, and then the real drama starts. Brandon Bikey has been incredible all season long. Him and Kenny Coppola tying for wins, the most wins of the season. And there he is, just +8 above the cutoff. Matt Cox just +3, and then you've got some real championship contenders. And the way the round of 8 works, it just looks, they're in red, but you wouldn't say these guys are not good enough to win a championship. All 8 of these have a possible, I mean, definitely can get it done. So it's going to be about the 3 races. Who can get it done tonight? Pull the old Logano and not have to worry about the next few weeks, or we see a non-playoff driver win here tonight. But if you're Justin Belmont, if you're Blaine Wilson, Chris Davis, you got some work to do tonight. Stage points going to be important to get those and try to move up that list and keep up with the other drivers. Only one driver can win its way in after tonight, so got to be thinking about those points. Blaine Wilson has just thrown Hail Mary after Hail Mary. So tonight, we ain't worried about Blaine Wilson. He's not going to be a factor for sure. He's got to wait till Martinsville to get into the Final Four. He's done that every round so far. So we'll see if he can keep that up. But, I mean, here, just incredible seasons for all these drivers. Belmont, we heard about him entering into the playoffs saying, I'm ready to ramp it up. And he has done a great job, but now finds himself looking from the outside in. He's got a lot of work to do to get into the playoffs. It starts here tonight. 3 races to overcome 24 points. He could definitely do it. He's got the speed. We'll see if he can get it done here tonight. Well, qualifying is over. We got just about 30 seconds before we get this thing going. So let's jump right in to the grid and see where everybody's going to start here tonight. Brandon Bikey, Kenny Coppola are going to start off the round of 8 in just incredible fashion by qualifying on the front row. Very close lap times. It is from first all the way back to 8th. Less than 1/10 of a second separate these guys. So up front for BMP. In third, going to be Matt Cox with Randy Mullins in row number 2. In row 3 is going to be Shane Davis with Alex Coffey in that 6th position. In 7th, Nick King, Paul Gallimore in 8th. 9th is Johnny Shea with Tim Wortman in the 10th position. In 11th, Chris Spear. Glad to have him here tonight. He's going to start up towards the front. Chris Davis, one of those drivers, outside looking in, starting in 12th. In 13th, Nigel Christensen. 14th, Warren Young. 15th, Aaron Matthews with Blaine Wilson in 16th. 17th, going to be Barry Sanders with Matt Mackin in that 18th position. 19th, Caden Norfrey. And 20th, Justin Belmont. 21st, Jordan Schmeets, Brandon Fetterplace in 22nd. 23rd, Ed Bowles Jr., Ryan Huff in 24th. 25th, Nicholas Atwood, Matt Mettler in 26th. And that will round out your field here tonight.
Well, let's take a look at the race analysis as we wait on everybody to grid up. 200 laps here tonight, 500 miles an hour on pit road speed. 6 total tire sets available to these drivers here. 1 green, white, checkered at 10. 100% fuel load up and setups and stages. Lap 45 and 90. This race could fly by if we somehow miss some cautions. So a lot can happen here tonight. I think you got to be starting up on the front, towards the front, but we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. As I get ready to pull off here in just a moment, let's do something that we normally don't do. Let's talk to some drivers. We're going to start with Justin Belmont. Belmont, you are...
What's happening, man?
You're on the outside looking in. You said you was about to turn the wick up at the start of the playoffs. Now you made it to the round of 8. Congratulations on that. But now you sit 24 points out of the cutoff line for the Final Four. What do you need to do to get into the Final Four?
Step 1 was qualify a whole lot better, and we missed that. So we just got to maximize points, man. We just got to get as many stage points, best result as possible. I mean, ideally, we sneak in a win and not have to worry about all that. But I think there's a path. We can do it. We've done it every round so far, so I don't see why not.
That's right. Well, you got a lot of work to do tonight, but Vegas is one of those tracks you can make up that time. So thanks for talking to us, Justin. Good luck.
Thank you, man.
And what, are you Warrior Racing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I should know better, but did not want to put him in the wrong channel. That would be awkward. Well, all right, we are getting the field ready to go. We'll try to talk. If we have a lot of cautions here tonight, we'll try to talk to some folks. Wanted to maybe get the bottom driver and the top driver, Randy Mullins, in here, but we're getting ready to go green, so we'll let that all play out. So what to expect from Vegas? Well, it's about track position. Dirty air going to be a factor, so you want to make sure that you stay on top of that. But, I mean, honestly, it's about getting that car down to the bottom. We'll see some guys use the upper middle lanes. I don't think we'll see any right up against the wall, but who knows? We're going to find out together exactly where these guys are going to run. But I think you want to be right around on the bottom and try to save those tires, especially if we get a long run. We will get another lap, so let's bring him in here and talk to Randy Mullins. Randy, this Eddie in the booth got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you came into this round as the points leader, 29 above the cutoff. So you got to feel good about making it in the Final Four, but it is not guaranteed. So you don't need to win, and you don't really need to have a blazing fast night. But what's your thoughts going into this round?
I feel that I got a good car. Put a lot of time in last week and this weekend, so I feel confident about it. But like you said, nothing's guaranteed, so I'm not going to push it and put myself in any type of situation. The goal is to get stage points both stage and get a good finish, and just try to add to the lead that I got coming into here.
Well, all right, brother. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. Good luck here tonight.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
I want to get him out of here before we get ready to go green. I don't like to be talked to as I'm getting ready, trying to get focused here for a start of a very, very important race. Well, there you had it. You had the top fella and the guy at the very bottom. We'll try to maybe fill up some gaps as this race goes on. But we're getting ready to go green here in the Ram 302 at Las Vegas. Who's going to take the victory? Who's going to punch their ticket to the round of 4? Who's it going to be? We're going to find out. Green flag is out. Well, first one to the stripe the first time is Brandon Bikey. So
he is going to lead the first lap. Kenny Coppola going to follow him into the corner. Man, I'll tell you what, man, these cars look so cool at a track like Vegas, at banking, at 20-degree banking. Not as much as, say like Bristol or Talladega, but there is enough to make this thing fast. They've added banking. Back in the day, this track used to be, as Kenny Coppola already making a move. That's something to be considering as we watch this race on through the draft. Going to be a major factor here tonight. Big run for Kenny. He's going to jump out front and take an early lead here on lap 3. But this track used to be a very slow track. I'm trying to think of one, sort of like a gateway almost, a bigger gateway. You really had to slow down for the corners. It was a very, very different track. Now it is very much like the normal 1.5 milers that you see, sort of like a Kansas, a little bit tighter of a Kansas. So it's definitely like a slot car down into the corner. You see everybody right around that white line. That's where you want to be. For sure. You can make some passes on the outside. You can get some big old runs. But right around the bottom is where these guys are fighting forward, trying to get down there and stay as long as they can. Go back here. Got Chris Davis, Randy Mullins, a couple teammates battling out side by side as you got Aaron Matthews looking behind as they race side by side. Side by side is not really good here early. You see Chris able to go around, and Randy Mullins kind of helps facilitate the pass for Aaron Matthews, who makes the pass on the outside. And I think that's a great move. I mean, using the outside to make passes here at Vegas, you can do that. Then you want to jump right back down to the bottom. So good job by Aaron Matthews trying to make some positions here early as we see a little racing going up here between Nick King and Shane Davis. Nick King trying to make that outside work. A little Nick King cam here tonight. Working that outside, you can see the run that he gets. And while it is a little bit tougher on the tires, you can see he's able to keep the momentum up in the middle of the corner and make that pass, and made it look easy. As now they're starting to spread out behind him as guys are getting a little racy here early. Those stage points being a ton here in this round. Randy Mullins just needs enough stage points. If he doesn't get any, I mean, right now he's running 10. If somebody goes up here and gets, 10, if Mikey can get up here and win this stage, or Coppola, I mean, they're gonna gain a lot of points on him. So that 29-point advantage, while it sounds like a lot with these stages, it can evaporate a big lead really, really quickly. So we know Randy is going to be one of those drivers who, on the long run, makes up the difference. But with only 45 laps here, will he have enough time to get back through the traffic? Look at the 13 of Johnny Shea with a big run. Could not get to the outside of Matt Cox, although he down at 3 and 4. It looks like he might be able to get there, and yeah, he does. So, and they're 3 wide behind him. Aaron Matthews down to the apron underneath Paul Gallimore. And, I mean, these guys never fail to put on a show. One of my favorite reasons for calling this series is just the ability to always have some really awesome racing. I love a clean series where guys will, oh, you go ahead, go. Oh, man, go ahead, I'm going to let you pass. That's really good when you're racing it. But when you're broadcasting or watching, you want these guys to be taking every inch, taking every move that they can, going 3 wide if they're able. That sure does make it exciting. So these drivers up here fighting for these positions as George Speets, like he is lagged out now. As see Aaron Matthews get a big run here on Johnny Shade, who had to lift just a little bit. I hear in chat they're saying Coffee dig. Well, Coffee is back here. He is back in 13th position. He started in 6th position, but has fallen back. And, my thing is, whenever I know how good somebody is, like Randy Mullins, like Tim Morton Jr., like Alex Coffey, and I see them back here, and I see Chris Beard just driving around him on the outside, what does that tell you? That tells you
that there is a strategy here that's being played. You know, if I'm out on the track in the next gen and I pass Alex Coffey like he's sitting still, I'm going to assume that I missed something in the strategy department. Same with Randy Mullen. So we'll see if that is the case or not. We'll pay attention to that. But he is back here in 14th early in this race. Up front, though, Nick King has run down Kenny Coppola. That 12 machine is on the move, not playing around at all. He wants to go up there and lead this race. Now, Vegas will definitely eat the tires up, so there may be a little bit of tire saving going on, especially hoping for a long run. And you know what? I'm going to spoil it for everybody else because I like to play spoiler. I like to make folks mad, especially if they're in the race. But I can tell you right now, their 2 tires is a legitimate call on pit road here tonight. Something about the next gen, something about Las Vegas. You can actually come down pit road on a normal cycle, take 2 tires, you'll come out, you'll be faster on 2 right sides. So we'll see if anybody knows that. If they're listening, they know now. Of course, if you do it and it doesn't work, don't blame me. I'm just a broadcaster. But I have seen it work, be faster, and not fall off at all. And I'll tell you who's not falling off. That's Nick King, down to the inside, trying to take over the lead, trying to put that number 12 out front, and it looks like he's got everything he needs. Can he get a fight, though? Back on the outside, gets a big run off the corner as he's trying to hold on to that top spot. Nick King, I thought he had him cleared and had to back out of it as Kenny Coppola on that outside got the big run off the corner and was able to hang on to it. So be watching out for those 2 tire calls. I've seen it play out like that a couple times. A lot of guys will save that type of thing towards the end of the race, but if you want to make up a ton of spots, it will work here. And I think that's exciting. I like the ability to have some strategy with tires and to pick the right call. We'll see. We'll see who tries to utilize that and if it still works. I don't know. We're still watching this lead battle. As right now, these guys are running in the 30.6 range. Now, as they close in on lap 20, you're going to see the fall off of these lap times to be pretty quick. These 1.5 milers in the next gen, they can run almost flat out early and run extremely fast lap times. But as soon as those tires start to wear and get hot, well, then you start to have to lift, and those times really start to go down. They started off running 30.0s and 30.1s early in this race. Now they're running 30.7s in only 18 laps. So that is a pretty big drop off for a 1.5 miler. So we'll see what the tire wear is like. We'll see if those that have been riding in the back is, I think Johnny Shea may have had some sort of issue. He is slow on the apron. Everybody able to get around him without much trouble. And we stay green, but some sort of issue here for Johnny Shade. Just gets a little bit loose off a 4 and a great save by the 13. He's going to fall back to 23rd after that slide. All righty, well, we talked about those guys who might be saving tires. Alex Coffey fell back to what looked like about 15th position. Now has cracked the top 10, gotten right to the back bumper. Right. It's my Mississippi coming out. Right back to the back bumper of the 54. And you see Tim Wortman Jr. right behind him. So they've been able to pick up 2 or 3 spots in the last few laps. Cars starting to come alive as the tires start to wear. But, man, this is a cluster of cars all over the place. Right up in front of them, though, we haven't really mentioned this little pack of cars led by Matt Cox.
running that upper lane now, trying to use that run to his advantage. And then you see right behind him, Aaron Matthews, who has moved up 11 spots since the drop of the green flag. He has not been playing around. And they sort of lead this little pack, but you kind of see they're working together, at least trying to catch the top two. But that draft can help in these next-gen cars. So, and they're definitely closing up on them. Just half a second now, Matt Cox is to Nick King, as Nick King's starting to fall off as Matt Cox gets loose off of turn 4. Very close. So we're starting to see that aggressive early on driving may starting to, hurt a few drivers. Get that right rear a little bit too hot, it can definitely start to bite you pretty quickly. Side by side now is Matt Cox. Sliding back just a little bit. Bikey on the outside trying to make this pass. And Bikey going to get the run that he needs, so Matt's starting to fall off just a little bit. So we are seeing tire saving be very, very important here in this first stage. These guys still putting on a pretty good show. You see Nick King starting to fall off of the leader. Kenny Coppola out front, got the clean air, got the best downforce out of anybody. These cars get really tight in dirty air, and that can really compound a right front heat issue that makes the car tighter and tighter. Kenny Coppola has less of that to really deal with, so he can save his tires a little bit better. Just the many advantages of that clean air, which is why he fought so hard to keep Nick King behind him when Nick got a run. And now you can see Nick falling back to this little group here. Now he's going to be under fire from a lot of cars. Going to go high here, Aaron Matthews. Another driver has moved up a ton of spots, 13 positions for him, and now he's looking to the inside of Nick King. Nick starting to fade a little bit as we have just a little under 20 laps to go in this stage. Well, at the line there, Randy Mullins was the fastest on the track, 0.3 of a second faster than anybody up here, 0.4 of a second faster than Kenny Coppola. So tire saving, very, very important. That's why Alex and Randy were back there doing this. But just look at this. This is a mess right here. Oh, contact. Nick King. Matt Cox make contact. Now they're 3 wide. Nick King pushes up almost into Shane Davis, and they held it together. Man, what a great drive. I know that those drivers not going to be happy about that. Just a little slight miscalculation there on Matt Cox's move, and ooh, man, Nick King struggling. Once you get sideways like that, even if you save it, you have to be careful, because that will continue to be a problem until you cool the tires off. His tires are already struggling, but now he is on a razor's edge. You can see that steering wheel. He's having to be careful on exit, because that right rear is just boiling hot, and so you can't lean on it. Doesn't have the grip that it did before. Give it about 5 laps or so. Just take it easy. Don't kind of lift on the exit. Going to give up a little bit of speed, but the more and more you try to keep it going, save what you might lose by taking it easy, it can only get worse. So you have to let that thing cool off a little bit. Then once it kind of goes back, plateaus back down, he'll be able to get back going. But look here, Randy Mullins, Alex Coffey, Tim Wortman Jr. join in this picture. They're just 2.5 seconds off the lead and running faster lap times than anybody up here in this top 7. Mullins down to the inside of Nick King, and Alex Coffey gonna follow. They can see the lead. Definitely playing out and definitely be a strategy that they might employ for that final stage. I think, you know, they got 15 laps left. They can definitely make up a lot of time, especially at a 10th or so a lap. It's going to be tough to get up to Kenny Coppola, but definitely some data, some real nice information for that final stage. Second stage, as always, will be a little bit shorter than this one, but that final stage will be the longest. Be over 100 laps. We're not even in the meat and potatoes of this race. We still got a long way to go. Go back here a little bit. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Ryan Huff gets a little bit loose there and falls back as Chris Spear, Brandon Better Place, goes around. Chris Spear hadn't been here in a while, and I think it's showing a little bit. He is 7 places down from where he started, not having the best long run here. He started off pretty quick, was making moves early, probably heated those tires up, burned them up just a little bit as he's back in the 18th position as Ryan Huff all the way up against the wall. Look how close he is up there. Oh, man, is Ed Bowles Jr. going to get really loose on exit. Oh, and he's going to get into the wall. 24 played a dangerous game, and it bit him. And he gets a little bit of that wall. Ed Bowles now going to get to the back bumper, maybe give him a little push. Ryan up trying to run this wall. And it's fun, I tell you. Ain't no doubt about it. There ain't nothing more fun than running the outside. That's not been something that was possible in the life of iRacing. It's only been in the last few years that that's even been a thing. The fastest was always down at the bottom. And they added grip up on the top side, and it has been just so much fun. It's really changed oval racing entirely for me. Being able to run on the outside has been incredible. And look at this, and what it opens up, and be able to run 2, sometimes 3 wide. Oh, man. Chris Spear gets loose off of 4. We say that off of 4 being a real big problem area as him and Ed Bowles make a little bit of contact there. Up front, really no change. Kenny Coppola still with the lead, although Aaron Matthews and Brandon Bikey, Matt Cox have run him down. The gap to Matthews now just 0.4 of a second. So definitely not pulling away is Kenny Coppola. But as a wise philosopher once said, whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning is winning. I think it was a Latin philosopher, Vin Diesel. You see Kenny Coppola and Brandon Bikey there getting loose off of 4. So it definitely seems like the car, it's probably tight on entry, and when you get on the throttle trying to keep that speed up, it is a little bit tough to handle. Let's go on board with Bikey. See, now he's leaning that right rear up on the outside. Definitely will make it a little bit looser, and you can see he's fighting it. A lot of counters here, lifting off the throttle to help keep the thing planted. Now into the middle groove. You can hear he's being very ginger on the throttle, and you can see the rotation. Now in the ARCA car, which is the old body frame of the old B car, the old A car, you can let this thing flex. It'll yaw out like this, but when you get this next gen yawed out the way these guys are right now, it is dangerous. You're just a skunk fart away from spinning out. And it requires absolute precision. You can see, Bikey is very nervous right here. At any moment, he can go around. So handling definitely falling off really, really bad over the long run. Even Alex Coffey and Randy Mullins, even though they've been saving, not able to catch up to this group of cars. So
Right now, Beast Mode's performance looks pretty good out there. They run first and third, 1 and 3rd. Wrong with me. You got Bad Boy Racing in 2nd. And Matt Cox, also of BMP, running back there in 4th. Just a few laps to go as Kenny again gets extremely loose as he is trying to lay down some fast lap times to hold on to this lead. Take a look at him here. See what it looks like on board. You can see, I mean, the steering wheel is not having a great time. It's not calm. There's a lot of work going on here. Aaron Matthews getting to the back bumper. Arrow from somebody behind you is not really what it used to be, but when somebody gets to your back bumper, it can be a little bit nervous as again drifting. You can see that little puff of smoke. That is not good. So you see him talking. You see him kind of talking to his teammates, and there goes Aaron Matthews. Going to go right around him. We'll see if Kenny has the tire to be able to hold him off. I'm not sure if he does, but Kenny going to fight back on the outside, though. Aaron not able to complete the pass. And Kenny going to hold on to it for now. They want those stage points, and they want that stage win. That is so important right now. Randy Mullins back in 6th. Alex Coffey in 5th. So while not huge, it definitely will help eat into that lead. And for Alex Coffey, who is on the outside looking in, those are very important points. But just 2 laps to go in this stage. Coppola starting to show a little weakness here. Is now Bikey to the inside of Aaron Matthews. Aaron going to do the same thing that Kenny was doing to him. Stay on the outside and get a run and maintain that 2nd position. Bikey trying to keep that 5 away from his teammate. But, I mean, the 5 smells blood. There ain't no doubt about it. Kenny has shown a little bit of weakness here on this long run. Oh, my goodness. They make a little bit of contact there on the front stretch. Can Aaron Matthews complete this pass? They got to come around here, cross the start-finish line, and the top 10 have to cross it for it to be over. So they got a little ways to go. When they throw the yellow flag, side by side is Bikey and Matthews. Matthews now down to the inside as they come to the start-finish line. 3 wide at the stage. And Kenny Coppola will be your stage winner as the top 10 now have passed. And there you have it. What a great finish to stage number 1. And there's your stage winner, Kenny Coppola, in that number 77 Beast Mode Performance Toyota Camry. Started out front, able to get the lead early and never looked back. So he's going to take stage number 1. Pit stop's coming in just a moment. Everybody will be looking to come down pit road and get 4 tires of fuel, maybe. We'll see. Well, big movers, obviously, Aaron Matthews up 12 spots from where he started. Tim Wortman Jr. gained 3. Chris Davis, 4. Blaine Wilson moved up 7 spots, was able to get inside the top 10. Brandon Fetterplace has moved up 8 spots. He's up to 14th. At 15th is Ryan Huff. He's up 9 spots. Then you got some guys who have not had a great race so far. Johnny Shade got loose off of 4. Finished in 22nd. Currently running there. Chris Spear, Nigel Christensen down 8 and 7 respectively. And then Nick King. I don't know what happened to Nick King, but he must have got loose or something. And he dropped 9 spots. He's currently in 16th. Here they come down pit road. Pit stops. All 4 tires for these folks as they burn them down. And looks like Matt Cox is going to come out of pit road in 2nd. I couldn't really see if Bikey or Matthews got that third position. It was pretty close, and he got Alex Coffey there behind him. Well, as always, I want to talk to your stage winner, so let's bring Kenny Copel up in here and let's talk to him. Kenny, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, I didn't mean to jump in there with your communication, but congratulations, man, on stage 1 victory. Stage points massive here in this round, and you were able to get those. How does that car feel? You seem like you're getting a little bit loose there on that long run.
Yeah, I made an adjustment before the race because the track's a little bit cooler than I've been testing on, and yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. So we just tightened her up a little bit. Hopefully it'll run good, but tire wear didn't look so good, so I'm having some doubts. Hopefully I can get it fixed up.
All right, well, good start of the run. You got a little bit shorter run here, so it'd be nice to be able to kind of see that tire wear, how those changes work on a little bit shorter run, and then you can get it all dialed in for that final one. So good luck, Kenny, in this stage number 2.
Appreciate it, Eddie.
Well, there you have it. Your stage 1 winner, Kenny Coppola. I kind of like that. I like to see him a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. I mean, a confident Kenny is very scary because he will go up there and just wax everybody. But I like it. I like that his changes wasn't too happy about, so he gets to dial it in during the race. That's one good thing about an open setup that a lot of times in fixed, you don't really get the chance. You have to, in fixed setup, you have to do it all with the throttle and steering wheel. You have to just drive a little bit better, maybe slow it down a little bit. But here in the open setups, you can really, you can only do minor things. You can't change, massive changes, just air pressure, wedge, and others. But just small incremental changes to try to help solve smaller issues. So they'll get together, try to dial it in a little bit here on this shorter run. They only have about, looks like they'll get the 1 to go this time by. They'll have just under 40 laps in this middle stage. So it'd be a good opportunity to kind of figure out how those changes worked and then make that final adjustment on what could be the final pit stop, or the final 2 pit stops. As I don't know, I think by the time you get to stage 3, or maybe the green flag pit stop in the middle of stage 3, you want to be careful not to over adjust it, I guess. And so we'll see what they do, get it dialed in. You can see he was definitely loose there later in the run, and he did not seem too happy about the way that thing was handled. So we'll get ready to go green here for stage number 2. Kenny Coppola, Matt Cox, Brandon Bikier, Matthews, and Alex Coffey, your top 5. Randy Mullins, Chris Davis, Tim Wortman Jr., Blaine Wilson, and Shane Davis, your top 10. You got Gallimore, Sanders, Feder Place, Warren Young, Caden Norfree, your top 15. Nick King, Chris Spear, Justin Belmont, Johnny Shade, Ed Bowles Jr., your top 20, 21st is Nicholas Atwood, Matt Mackin, Ryan Huff, and Nigel Christensen. Matt Medler and Jordan Schmeetz are out of it. Here we go for the restart. Ready to get this thing back rolling. Pace car is off. Barney has the green flag in hand. Into the restart zone goes Kenny Coppola, and a great restart as he's able to get away. Big gap there on that bottom side. See Aaron Matthews down to the inside of Matt Cox. Could not clear him just yet, although I think he is clear now. Just sort of defending and trying to get underneath of Brandon Bikey. So Aaron Matthews seems very confident in his car. And honestly, he didn't have a whole lot of fall off. Seemed pretty quick all the way through. Gained a ton of spots there. Now he gets to go up here and battle for the lead again with equal tires. And he's going to drive right by Brandon Bikey. So I think Aaron Matthews got something here tonight. And look at the run he's going to get on Kenny. Can he get to the inside? Not quite there just yet, although you can see in the middle of the corner. As soon as the car lands for him, he's back on the throttle, and it seems to rotate really, really well. Now, I thought early he might have been pushing a little bit too hard, but it hasn't been the case. He has been strong all the way to the end of the run in that first stage. He's going to drive up to the outside. This is how you make passes right here. Here comes Aaron Matthews to the outside of Kenny Coppola, and there's not going to be much Kenny can do here. Kenny worried about tire wear on that first run. But you wonder if he's not just trying to take it a little bit easy. But I think the run off the next corner, if Matthews doesn't slip here, he will have the lead. He leads that lap. Kenny not going away, though. He's going to continue to fight. On the outside is Aaron Matthews. On the inside, Kenny. Aaron Matthews out front here on lap 54. Well, one driver we talked to wondering where he is going to be. Where is he going to, how he's going to do here tonight. He's got a lot of work to do. Started 20th, now currently 15th. So not much improvement over where he started. He is back here in the mess. So Belmont, look at all the junk going on in front of him. 2 wide, really nowhere to go a lot of times. Almost 3 wide here, you see. My goodness, Shane Davis is trying to look down the inside. He has to lift as Shane checks up on entry. Boy, this is a scary moment, especially if you're Justin Belmont. You cannot afford to get caught up in a wreck. No faster pair in this series. You have a wreck right here. It could be your championship hopes. They may leave the car here and put championship hopes upon the hauler. Look at the cluster of drivers, man. This is pretty incredible. As you can see, a lot of movement here for cars and just different entry points for a lot of drivers. Some folks driving harder into the corner, some lifting. It's causing a lot of chaos here. Is Belmont going to get to the back of the 79, push him? My goodness, this is incredible. This is like Daytona Talladega out here as we're just about to cross over lap 10 of this run. Tires will start to fall off. This will calm down just a little bit, but you can see what new tires do for the next gen. You can see these guys getting past. That's the 54 of Randy Mullins and the 15-ounce coffee. I mean, very clear early on that their whole idea is to take it easy, save the tires. So they lose a lot of spots here on these restarts, and that may be where all this checking up is coming from, because they are really bogging down that inside line. Coffee right there with him as Warren Young kind of gets into the wall a little bit. Big shove from the 34, Brandon Fetterplace. So it just seems like, oh my goodness, Coffee going to go up and tag Warren Young. Warren Young up into the wall. Oh, and others involved. Nigel Christensen involved. Matt Mackin involved, in caution going to be out after contact there between Warren Young and the 15 of Alex Coffey. It's like Alex Coffey was thinking about going to the outside of the 54, but the one had a pretty big run, and Coffey had to check up a little bit. When he did, it kind of shimmied the car up the track. And unfortunately, Warren Young was the recipient of that. You see Warren just gets a big run there on the outside. And like I said, I think Coffey absolutely knew he was there. But Coffey, when he had to sort of check up to not run into the back of Mullins. And man, my goodness, big hit there for Nigel Christensen. Just an innocent bystander here. Matt Mackin just comes in and just finishes the job. And Nigel Christian's day will be over. See that smoke coming out, and he is missing. The right front might be up in the engine block at this point. Look how far that thing is pushed in there. So everybody coming down pit road, though, after 12 laps. Tires are going to be a major factor. What are they going to do? 2 tires, 4 tires. What's the call? Right sides go up for Aaron Matthews. And it's like 4 tires will be the call for that driver. Chris Davis takes 2 tires. Justin Belmont as well taking 2 tires. So it's some good strategy call. I like it. And we're going to find out together what 2 tires will do here at Vegas. Like I said earlier in the race, that 2-tire call could be a very good one. I have seen it be faster than 4 tires. That's been a while, so we'll see if that continues to hold true. But out front is Paul Gallimore, Shane Davis, Brandon Fetterplace, Ed Bolts Jr., who did not come down there on that under this caution. So 4 drivers will stay out. Chris Davis, Justin Belmont on 2 tires, and then Kenny Copel will be back in 7. Well, that caution definitely is going to cause an interesting restart here. Different tire strategies always is like a pretty big wrench that gets thrown in there. So still a little bit under 30 laps to go in this stage. So I can't imagine patience. It's going to be something that these guys gonna have. But I do like the call for Chris Davis, Justin Belmont, 2 playoff drivers. They are kind of mired back in that traffic. This is sort of a free gift of track position. I think 2 tires is going to be a pretty good call, especially after only 12 laps, really. Just depending on how fast their car is, can they hang? We know Chris Davis pretty quick. Belmont as well, but Belmont's been back in outside the top 15 for a majority of the race. We'll see if this track position can move him in the right direction. Well, getting ready to go green. Glad to have everybody in chat with us tonight. It's always good to have a big crew. A lot of folks are really good about commenting, letting us know who you're pulling for. That is a big deal. We're glad to have all that interaction. Y'all keep it up. Cheer your drivers on. I think they can feel it. There's a broadcaster curse, but I also think that these drivers can feel it when the folks in chat are cheering their name on. I think that gives them a little bit extra. So keep that up. To get ready to go green here, what will this tire difference be? Top 4 on older-ish tires, only 12 laps really on those tires. Then you got 2 tires behind them, and then Kenny Coppola back in 7th. What's it going to do on the restart? Green flag back in the air as Gallimore gets a pretty good jump here. We're going to find out the difference in tires as they go down into turn 1. Ed Bull's sort of falling back on the outside, and Justin Belmont just getting freight trained as he's got nowhere to go. Will he make it 3 wide? Well, I'll tell you what, they'll make it 3 wide up here as Shane Davis goes to the outside. Fetterplace stuck in the middle now. Ed Bulls Jr. up on the outside. This is not going to end well. Nope, it's not. Oh, the contact. Kenny Coppola in the wall. Oh, my goodness. Kenny Coppola into the wall. Barry Sanders involved. Brandon Fetterplace. And that's not what you want to see. if you're the 77. And that's it. Frustration for Kenny. Can't believe it. We'll go back and see what happened. You can see, I mean, we were watching it 3 wide, and Brandon Fetterplace just, oh man, just a tough deal there on those old tires. Stuck in the middle, trying not to get into Shane Davis here, and he comes down the track after this right here. They just some pinball. I can't blame Fetterplace. I know Kenny is probably not happy with him, but I can't blame him. He is right there in the middle. He's trying to give space, and right here he's gonna come down a little bit, and just it closes up. You know, Kenny is coming up the track, and it's just the natural flow of the track. I mean, it's just a racing incident. It's just difference in tires, 3 wide here, and I mean, it's really nobody's fault. Better place, just like a pinball there, and good gosh. Oh, and Belmont was involved in that. Oh man, he got hit a couple times. Randy Mullins also involved. We were so concerned with the rest of it, we didn't see this part. Right here, Belmont gets hit hard on that right rear. I mean, in real life, that's a toe link that is broken. And you see the 54 also involved. So playoff drivers galore involved in this one. Let's go on board Randy Mullins. Randy just trying to avoid it, goes through the grass and just hit on the right front. I don't think Randy is going to be hurt too bad, but those right front hits could be pretty disastrous. I don't see any major damage, but yeah, those right front hits could always just be bad because you're just so dependent on that right front. So currently on pit road, getting some of that damage fixed. Like I said, I think Kenny will definitely attempt to try to get that car fixed, but now 3 laps down, I'm gonna say he's gonna have a lot of work to do to get back in this race. I don't think he could quit. I wouldn't say quit because every point could matter. You see he is getting tires put on it now, so I think Kenny will be able to get back out there and fight. He will have at least one caution to try to get back on lead lap, but he'll have to hope for a few more. But, I mean, Belmont still getting damage fixed on his car. You see Barry Sanders there, Caden Orfrey, all those guys. Belmont gets about a minute and 10 seconds damage fixed, but you still see a little bit of crinkle on that right side. He's trying to stay on the lead lap, which is the smart thing to do. Do not go a lap down here with a stage looming in just about 20 laps. You want to go back out there and just try to stay on the lead lap, and then come back down under stage and get as much damage fixed. So, oh man, what an unfortunate wreck that was altogether. I mean, Kenny still on pit road. That's going to change a lot about these playoffs. So we'll take a look at those standings again here in just a moment. You can see Belmont there was way down the list. Now he is in trouble. Going to have to get the car fixed, get a good, decent finish. But Kenny Coppola there, plus 16. He was able to get the stage win. However, I mean, he's back in 20th now, and he is multiple laps down. And not the way he wanted tonight to go. Those stage points will help, but he only got stage points in stage number 1. So this could be a major swing for Kenny Coppola. Now, Randy Mullins, hopefully that damage isn't too bad. Looks like just 28 seconds of damage repair, so he is back out there. But still a scary moment for a lot of playoff drivers. That could have been disastrous for some playoff runs. And Kenny, I think, still got he has a nice buffer that he'll be okay, and he's definitely fast enough to win almost every single week. But Belmont here, he can't afford this. So he's back down pit road trying to get some more damage fixed. Like I said, I think if you're Belmont, you're just let me get to the end of this stage, come back down, spend a quality time getting as much damage fixed, get this car back in racing action. I don't think this will be the last big wreck that we'll see. So now those who able to avoid it, Alex Coffey still 9th. Blaine Wilson, who we've talked about, has just been he's not been incredible, but he has just been right place, right time, take advantage of any misfortune that others drivers have. I mean, had to win to get into the round of 12 and then had to do it again basically last week and was able to do it, man. Just incredible mentally. That's what that is. Mental strength out of Blaine Wilson. Hasn't always been able. I mean, he's always got speed. It just seems like he sometimes just struggles to get those finishes, gets caught up in trouble. But tonight started back in 16th, up into the 6th position now, and a few playoff drivers having trouble. That's only going to benefit him, as he is 19 below the cutoff as we came into this race. So looking to get some stage points, Blaine Wilson is. But Paul Gallimore trying to get the win in stage 2. Still out on those old tires, but Chris Davis on 2 behind him. What can he do? Gallimore gets a great jump as they get up through the gears. And Gallimore going to take the lead early. We'll see if that calms everybody down or if they're going to be even more aggressive now. You just never know. See a bunch of cars get wrecked out, it sure does not feel good, and you get a little bit nervous. Now we're going to race it. Looks like we're going to go 3 wide. Shane Davis had a real big issue there off of the corner and lost a bunch of spots. We'll see, go back and see what happened to him. I kind of want to know what happened. I kind of missed it. He was running in second, gets a huge shove from Aaron Matthews, and another shove. Continues to bump Aaron Matthews, as Shane is on older tires, and my goodness. And I think he might have a problem. I don't know, but he just let out the throttle and just let him have it. So some sort of issue for the 79. He just kind of backs out and lets them go to not get into any more wrecks. So not really sure what's going on, but Chris Davis now starting to put a little pressure, but the man, I'll tell you what, if you ain't picking Aaron Matthews to win this race, what are you doing? Because he has been unbelievable here. 4 tires for the 5. And going to look down to the inside. Chris Davis. My goodness, Aaron Matthews with the slider on Chris Davis right up. I mean, you couldn't put a piece of paper in between them. Chris Davis will get a nice run here, and he got a massive run there down off the top side. But Aaron Matthews better be one of these drivers you're looking to take the win here tonight, because he has looked fast from the very beginning at the end of the runs. That 5 machine is hooked up, and now 4 tires, and he is going to eat up Paul Gallimore very quickly. Gallimore holding tight so far. Chris Davis doing well. Holding on with those 2 tires. Here he comes. Beast Mode's been out front all night long. Aaron Matthews trying to put Bad Boy Racing out front. I think Matthews has the speed to do it. I think he's just trying to be patient here. A big run there as Gallimore gets a little bit loose. Now he drives up to the outside. He has done that all night. Car just drives really good through the middle of 3 and 4, and there you go. Aaron Matthews now out to the point with just 15 laps to go in this stage. Gallimore, they're going to fight back here. 1 and 2, that bottom seems really good, but once they get to 3 and 4, if they're side by side, that 5 car is going to be gone. Here it is, down into the corner. This is where the 5 has been the strongest. Not as good that time. He did not have the run that he had through the middle of the corner, but he's looking good down the straightaway. Gallimore still there, though, not going away. In through 1 and 2, Gallimore gonna go right to that left rear. Kind of pulls back the 5, stops his run into 3 and 4. But now Aaron, oh man, he got slid up just a little bit. Aaron's going to try. I don't know what he could do. Gallimore's just doing a great job there on the entry to 3 and 4 of getting to that left rear tire of the 5. And what it does just stops his run. That arrow just causes a bunch of drag. See that right there. When he does that, that stops the run of the 5. The 5 going to come down and clear himself in front of the 11. Said, I'm tired of this. Leave me alone. And the Gallimore going to chase him up the track. Does not like that. But Aaron Matthews able to get clear. New leader, number 5. Oh, and now he gets loose with the 11 right under him. And now it's right back to it. Gallimore just not going away. And you can see what it brings to the fold. And now here comes Matt Cox, Tim Wortman Jr., and Chris Davis all joining the fight. This time, though, Aaron Matthews gets the run he needs out of 3 and 4. And I think he'll be able to get clear. Last time, Gallimore got right to his back bumper, and he got a little bit loose here. Gallimore going to do it again. Again, the 5 chasing up the track. He throws another block. Look at him racing here with 10 laps to go in stage number 2. I say you always get one. You get one block, and I think that's pretty much how everybody sort of feels about it. I think that's normally the kind of gentleman's agreement. You get one of those. You don't get 2. You block me one time, that's good. You block me the second time, you might be going around. So I think Aaron pushing the limits on those blocks, but he's trying to do whatever he can to try to pull away here. He's able to run down Gallimore with ease, but to be able to pull away, not been able to do it. Look at the cars that are joining this fight. Everybody just, it's like they're spectators just waiting on all this to play out front, but because they keep running, now here comes Aaron Matthews down to the inside. He said, well, the outside hadn't been working. Let me try this inside. Drives down. Gallimore going to gas it up, get right there to that right rear. Aaron does a great job there on the bottom. But the run of the 11 down the front straightaway draws even, now even noses ahead before going into turn number 1. Now the bottom has seemed to be pretty quick here for Gallimore, but it seems like Matthews not so good there, as that's the first time I've seen anybody, and now that's going to be bad for Matthews. He's been trying to get the lead, and now here comes Matt Cox to the outside. Matthews feels it, drove it really deep into the corner, and has to check up. Now he's in danger of going freight trade, though. Here comes Alex Coffey down to the inside to make it 3 wide. Aaron Matthews trying to go for the lead as they make contact. I think Coffey, oh man, now they're banging doors. They're knocking each other out of the way. Coffey going to get loose. Here comes Chris Davis down to the inside. 3 wide racing with just 5 laps to go in stage number 2. These guys are not playing around. Aaron Matthews struggling now. He's falling back, continues his 3 wide right in front of him. Now Bikey down to the inside. Coffey trying to get that rubber band back rolling. Oh, it's getting tight right there. Tim Wortman doesn't know the danger he is in at the moment. Coming off the corner, they keep it together. Big push from the 18. Coffey now just 2 wide. But Tim Wortman's got that thing rolling on the outside, and they're 2 by 2 by 2. Here comes Blaine Wilson. He's going to go over and try to give his teammate a shove. Pushes the 15. While this is going on, we got a battle for the lead. There's all kind of racing going on. Hey, if you didn't pay a dime to watch this, as Chris Davis gets loose, knocks it into the 15. Here comes others. Shoves. Golly, you would think this is the last lap. We're still not even halfway. And Matt Cox going to take the lead as they continue to race behind him. Matt Cox taking advantage of that. Aaron Matthews is falling back to 10th place after all that went down. Gallimore just will not go away, I tell you. He keeps getting past, and then he comes right back after him. Down to the inside goes Gallimore again on Matt Cox. It just seems like the draft is so strong here that you just can't get away. Y'all didn't pay a dime to see this, and this is incredible. I'm going to turn the stream off and charge y'all to watch this. This is worth paying for. Oh, man, Matt Cox gets loose. Now going to throw a block on Gallimore. Gallimore, though, going to dive down to the inside. Gallimore on these older tires. He's on 40-lap old tires, 12 laps older than everybody around him. Now here comes Alex Coffey with the help of the 18. These two have been working together, and it's been paying off. They're not getting side by side, trying to slow each other down. They've been running nose to tail. Blaine Wilson's been giving really good shoves down the straightaway, and it's paying off as now Alex Coffey going to get a run here. Give a look down to the inside. Just peeks. Not quite there just yet. Now through the middle. Oh, they're going to bang doors again. They're continuing to bang doors. Now Matt Cox up into the wall. And that one right there was on Matt Cox. The first one was on Coffey. This one was on Cox. He comes down and makes a little bit of contact with Coffey. But no harm, no foul. That's why the Lord put fenders on them for that reason right there. And they keep it going. That's the most important part. A lot of leagues, you'll see contact like that, and there'll be a big old wreck. Not here in Moonshiners. Chris Davis pushing the 18 down in the corners. Now Paul Gallimore being surrounded. But Dig Esports now running 1-2 as they cross the line, and Alex Coffey will be your stage number 2 winner. What a drive by those two drivers. Blaine Wilson going to get second there. I mean, the dude is just unbelievable at coming from behind. Started all the way back in 16th. Get second in stage number 2. We'll take a breather. Get a little bit of, get some tires on these cars. I know they're ready for them. And then we'll settle in for what should be a pretty nice run here. And we'll see who does what as far as tire saving goes. So far out of this race is Ed Bowles Jr., Brandon Fetterplace, Kenny Coppola, Ryan Huff, Nigel Christensen, Warren Young, Matt Mackin, Matt Medler, and Jordan Schmeets. Then obviously the biggest one there was Kenny Coppola. He is now out of this race. He's in 20th. Had that happen in the final stage, wouldn't have been as bad, but he gets no stage points here, and that is very, very tough to do. So we'll come down pit road. 4 tires and fuel, obviously going to be the call here. I don't think we'll see any crazy strategies here. I know Justin Belmont would be glad to get down on pit road and get some more of that damage fixed here on this under this caution, and we'll see who wins the battle off pit road. That'll be a very, very important battle as we are done with stages. And looks like Chris Davis will win the battle off pit road. Brandon Biker will come out second. And if you're wondering what happened to Alex Coffey, he is still on pit road fixing damage. There he goes right there. So wins the stage, tries to stay on pit road for a little bit longer, get that damage fixed. Smart move by Alex Coffey. You don't want to have damage on this final run. If you're gonna fix it, you need to fix it right now, even if you have to give up track position. He's definitely fast enough that it doesn't matter. But we need to talk to him. So let's go and talk to Alex Coffey. Alex, this is Eddie in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, man, what a great job by you and your teammate, Blaine Wilson, who continues to impress here in the playoffs. But you came in a weird spot below the cutoff, and you started off slow, just kind of taking it easy, it seemed like. But there in that second stage, You and him working together instead of working against each other got up to the front. And you were able to get that stage win. What's it like out there? And congratulations on that stage win.
It's definitely a dogfight. We kind of forced to work together like that just because everybody else is working together like that. So definitely a dogfight. Some questionable moves, but you know, I learned from the first time the move was made that it was going to be made again, and expected it, and it didn't work out for the other guy that tried to make the move the second time. So glad to get the stage win. Try to get back up there. It's real weird compared to officials this week. The track just feels completely different. So just trying to feel it out and see what we got.
Yeah, so I saw you had a little bit of damage, so you elected to come down and get that damage fixed. Did you feel it in the steering wheel? Did you feel like you had damage, or you just wanted to do it as insurance?
It was only 12 seconds. I just figured if it's on the right front, which I figured it was, it'll probably make the car tighter throughout a long run. So just best bet was go ahead and fix it rather now than later.
Well, congratulations on that stage win. Those are all important points here moving forward. You're back in 13th. Got a little bit of ways to get back up to the front, but it seemed like you're pretty quick. So thanks for talking to me, man. Good luck in the rest of this race.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
There you have it. Dig Esports. Alex Coffey, stage number 2 winner. But up front, it is Chris Davis, Brandon Bikey, as they will assume the front row. And we'll get this thing back rolling. When we go green, we'll have 104 laps left in the race. So settle in. We still got a long way to go. If it stays green, it could be an incredible race of green flag pit stops. That's what I'm hoping for. I would love to see some green flag pit stops, see who can put together the best 100 laps here. But the way the racing has been, I'm sure folks are upset with each other. There'll be less breaks given, and somebody's going to go spinning somewhere. So the likelihood of us going green the rest of the way seems pretty low, but we'll see. Everybody might take it easy here on the beginning of stage number 3, especially if you're up in the top 5. You're kind of where you need to be to settle in, trying to save those tires. Seems like tire wear has been an issue, so don't want to get caught 50, 60 laps into this run and have an issue. Alrighty, getting ready to go green. Chris Davis, Brandon Bikey, your front row. Blaine Wilson, Matt Cox in row number 2. Tim Wortman Jr. and Randy Mullins in row 3. Barney got the green flag in hand. Chris Davis through the restart zone. And green flag back out. Final stage here in the Moonshiners Racing League. Well, the first lap of the stage, Chris Davis able to get clear. Matt Cox, though, going to get to the outside. Lloyd thought about getting to the outside and almost got turned across the front bumper of Blaine Wilson. And Blaine Wilson's got to be careful here. He's in such a good spot, especially a good points position today. It could all go wrong if he does not try to maintain. I mean, you have to. It's a weird position because you have to be aggressive or you'll lose 10 spots in a heartbeat. But you also have to be a little cautious. You don't want to get run over and lose what will be a fantastic points day for Blaine Wilson, who, like I said, continues to impress in these playoffs. And if you've been betting against him at this point, you got to just stop. I need to shut up. He's going to end up in the wall in a second if I don't stop talking about him. But right now he's on the outside. Aaron Matthews continues to have these massive charges early in the runs. I mean, the first couple runs he had some long run speed, but there on that second stage, excuse me, it just didn't work out for him. He kind of got shuffled out of there. And was a tough one. I tell you who also needs to have a good race is Brandon Bikey. He's not safe by any means. Only 8 points above the cutoff. If he can get a win, obviously that would be massive. Same with Chris Davis here. and Matt Cox. All these drivers need to have good races. They all finish right where they are. They'd be in good shape. Matt Cox, though, not happy with that. Going to go to the outside of Chris Davis and takes the lead, the 32 out front now as we cross over halfway. We'll see if anybody's able to sort of pull away here. Kenny wasn't able to pull away. Just seems like you're kind of in a box here. I think Kenny got out to maybe 0.7 of a second, but just we've seen the draft just be really strong here at Vegas, and it's kept everybody sort of tightened up the whole time. You know, when they get sideways, like if you get in a line of 10 drivers and 5th and 6th, get out there and start racing side by side, that will separate packs into 2 separate packs. But if they stay nose to tail like this, it is very possible that they just kind of run like this for at least 20 or 30 laps. There comes Nick King, and that's the hard part about it. Yeah, you would love to run away. It's always a numbers game in racing. You know, like right now, Aaron Matthews going to fight hard to not let Nick King get to the inside of him. But, you know, if you're in this front pack, you're going, guys, let's stop racing. Everybody's going to get a run. This is the frustrating part about iRacing is you're always going to get a run. Look at Aaron Matthews, though. He's like, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to go around the outside and just gasses it up. Now he's up side by side for second. But that's the toughest part about iRacing. You want to get up there and just ride and save your tires, but somebody will get a run and they won't be able to stand it. They got to use it. They see Dale. Look at Aaron Matthews. Powers by 2 or 3 cars there and takes the lead. But yeah, I mean, you kind of hope that, hey, look, we're pulling away from these drivers behind us. You know, Blaine Wilson, then you got to go back a second. These guys, Alex Coffey, Tim Morton Jr., battling side by side. And when you battle side by side, we talked about it. You get to the left rear or the right rear quarter panel, and it just kind of sucks the guy back, not really shoot you forward. So it just slows you down a whole bunch. So if you can stay single file like this, these guys right here, if they can work together, you can pull away. But there's always that one driver who just doesn't get the memo and is just going to get up here and just continue to race. And what that does is just draws everybody back. And you can see Chris Davis. I think Chris Davis saw what was happening there and said, you know what, I'm not going to battle you. I want to get single file. I want to pull away because it's a numbers game. If you have 6 drivers up here and y'all can pull away, well, you only have to fight it out between 6 of you. But if you allow that pack to catch back up, and there's some fast drivers back there, then all of a sudden, got more variables, less chance for you to get the win. So it's hard to have that patience, not take every run that you get. And Nick King is one of them. He is like, I am not going to give up any kind of momentum that I get. Now I'm going to look down to the inside and try to take over that second position. Matt Cox going to try to fit in somewhere here. Going to settle in right behind Nick King. So you can see this sort of playing out as now Alex Coffey is 1.4 seconds back from this group. So them working together, even though Nick King, Aaron Matthews wanting to go, sort of a wrecking ball of this scenario. The other drivers making it work, letting him go, getting in single file, and just running in a train, and they are pulling away from that second pack. Nick King wants to get up there and lead, though. You can see right here, I mean, they've been running side by side for a little bit. You can see just how much it has slowed them up. You look out the front bumper of Alex Coffey, and you're just begging folks. It's almost like you have to beg your enemy. You have to say, hey, just stop going down to the inside, please. Slowing us down. Let us catch back up, then let's race it out. As Nick King goes out front, that aggression paying off for him, as he's going to take the lead from Aaron Matthews. Would love to see this thing go green, get some green flag pit stops. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. Obviously, if you're thinking about fuel, your obvious target is think about 55 laps here. I want to say about 145. You can make it there. You could probably make it to the end, which I do think that they most likely can make it to that point. So these two pulling away. I think Chris Davis had a run, thought about going down to the inside of Matt Cox, but changed his mind. And you can see these guys are now out to a 2-second lead as they continue to run side by side. I'm telling you. Boy, this will aggravate you. I tell you. And it's frustrating because somebody will get a run and pass you, and then you feel like, well, now if I get a run, I got to pass him because if I lift, another guy will be there to fill that gap. And patience is so hard to find when you're, stuck up on the outside and folks are not working together. And you see the lead pack just drive off. It is very, very frustrating as Aaron Matthews going to take the lead right back from Nick King. And I know I keep preaching, let's work together, but man, it's hard to tell a hungry dog to sit. And that's what these two are right here. Aaron Matthews, Nick King, not playoff drivers. They are looking to make statements here tonight. They want to come in here and win this race and break the heart of some playoff driver, that's for sure. Because somebody with a pink banner that indicates they're in the playoffs, which are the drivers right behind these two, as they continue to race it out. Nick King now going to the outside. Any of those drivers with those pink banners, they get a win tonight, they will be locked into the Final Four, and that is a coveted position to be. Gosh, it makes these next few races so less stressful. And if you're Blaine Wilson, who's back there in the back of this little group here, what a playoffs run that would be. That'd be one for the ages if the 18 can pull that off. Chris Davis now going down to the inside of Matt Cox, excuse me. And Cox going to gas it up, prevent that pass from happening. Yeah, it looks like being in the lead is just not safe. Like once you get out front, the draft that you can get on somebody is just too strong at the moment. You're just not able to pull away. These two have traded the lead a couple times. Nick King back out front now. Chris Davis trying to make this move on Cox, but he's been really strong off the outside. Oh, is Nick King going through the grass. He gets loose off of turn 4. He's going to come back up on the track. He's going to continue to mow the grass. The long guy is just punching air right now. He's going to come back out on track. This is a tough spot. Everybody, though, avoid him. You see the 54 of Randy Mullins goes by. So Nick King. Oh, man, we got more. Chris Davis sitting sideways on the track. The 74. Something has happened. We saw him trying to work down to the inside of Matt Cox, and Nick King was going through the grass at this point. Going to get to the bumper of the 32, and yeah, I think the 32 was trying to, oh man, big contact for these drivers. I think the 32 might have been trying to block that run that he was going to get off the corner. Chris was trying to time it just right. Matt Cox just sort of pinching him down a little bit there. I don't know. It was very, very close. It's really hard to call fault in these scenarios like this. But watch on board from Brandon Vikes. He's going to get a pretty good shot on the front end. Just nowhere to go. And he gets run over from Blaine Wilson. And caution, back out. Hopefully not too much damage. But playoff drivers galore having issues here tonight. My goodness. All these drivers will come down pit road. Aaron Matthews will lead them. So obviously some damage that'll need to be fixed on some of these drivers. It's like 4 tires and fuel, the call for everybody. As we see who wins the battle off pit road. Close battle between Matt Cox, and I think he won it. Tim Wortman Jr. going to come off in 3rd. Alex Coffey in 4th. As you see, Bikey, Blaine Wilson goes back down pit road, or they don't go back down pit road. They're still on pit road, fixing that damage that they got right there in that wreck. And so, man, just bragging on these guys, how they just needed a good finish, and all it took was a little bit of contact with Matt Cox, who Matt has not really been making too many friends here tonight. He's going to win the battle off pit road, and I mean, you're not here to make friends, but it's been a tough go for Matt. Matt's been sort of being aggressive with placement of his car, which is no surprise. I mean, he's always been like that. He is always trying to be aggressive, keep positions, fight hard. And right there, I can't really call fault on him, but it just seemed like he didn't really kind of push out to the wall and exit. And I think Chris was probably expecting that, which is where that contact came into play. And it could have been a little bit of net code too. So, like I said, and really no fault on Matt Cox. I can't blame anybody. It's just a racing incident. But it does seem like Chris maybe was expecting him to kind of push out to the wall like you do on exit, and Matt trying to prevent that pass from happening. So, but it worked out good for Matt as he comes down 4 tires, fuel at a 14.0, and that's about that's a high 12-second stop. So really fast pit crew there for Matt. You know, in real life, they're dropping, you know, high 8s, mid 9s in real NASCAR, and in iRacing, they're still doing like 11 to 12-second stops. Or iRacing pit crews, and they need a little bit of work, it seems like. Well, a nice little reset here as we gonna have a little bit less than 80 laps to go in this one. And so far, a lot of drivers, more than half the field, with some sort of damage, and a lot of playoff drivers in the same boat. Now, this is working out really good for Justin Belmont, who is now up to 13th. He's still getting damage fixed from that incident earlier. We'll see if he can get that thing going. Randy Mullins still, he's back down pit road, probably getting a little bit of extra fuel, I would have to guess. That's exactly what he's doing. So just a little top off of fuel. He was at the back of this little pack anyway. Might as well. And Justin Belmont out on track after some damage repair. You got Barry Sanders right behind him. Same thing, trying to get some damage fixed. And then Blaine Wilson in that 18 running up, involved in that wreck, getting more damage fixed. So, man, playoff drivers galore. Kenny Coppola involved in a wreck. He is out of this thing. Blaine Wilson, Justin Belmont, Randy Mullins involved. Chris Davis now involved in an issue. Alex Coffey was involved in a little bit of scuffle. So Bikey was also involved in that wreck. So he's actually 1 lap down after spending almost 3 minutes to fix that damage. So pace car getting ready to pull off, though. We're going to go back green, so a lot of folks having trouble. Who's going to take advantage of it? Right now, Matt Cox out front. Boys, there bumper cars up here as that outside line did not go, and Alex Coffey ran over the back of the 5. Luckily, they're in the next gen car, because if they were in another one, it would have been bad. Well, battle for the lead as Aaron Matthews not wasting any time, though, as he down on the apron. is Aaron Matthews. Did he get a penalty? And it looks like he did. That may have been where that checkup came from, as he got a penalty. Back it up just a little bit, see if we can find out what happened. Did he jump? Oh, he did jump the restart. And when he jumped, he went before the leader, and the 15 ran into the back of him when he checked up. So that's where that contact came from. And so Aaron Matthews, who has been in contention for the race win, now have to go down pit road. He is likely going to lose a lap as he comes off of pit road right now. It's like it's just a stop and go. And you can see the pack coming from behind. So we will be able to stay out ahead of it. But more and more problems for these guys. As, man, look at Shane Davis up there, 3 wide almost, trying to take the lead. Look, guys, I'm fairly certain I have heart problems at this point. Y'all need to take it easy. Look at the 79 just driving right on by. Matt Cox, who going to give up almost 2 positions here. Paul Gallimore, who was strong early on old tires, now on equal tires, and he is super fast. So Shane Davis going to take the lead here on lap 125. Still a long way to go in this race. Got a little love for the 79 paint scheme, so we'll zoom in on it. Kelly Coffee says she loves that paint scheme. Looks like a 90s Trapper Keeper. Good looking paint scheme. Gallimore all over the back bumper, trying to take that position back. Here comes Gallimore down to the inside and just easily takes the lead here. These guys have pulled off about a second away from this second pack, led by Matt Cox, and these guys obviously doing a little bit of tire saving, just rolling off the throttle, and that's what we've seen a lot of early in this race. The difference, you see a lot of guys, a lot of big speed differentials, and early in a run, you can choose to run almost flat out, or you can lift and save some tire, and we've seen both strategies kind of be used. See some guys get frustrated and just gas it up, decide to take a bunch of spots, and then you see folks like Alex Coffey, Randy Mullins, who've been just kind of rolling off the throttle. And that's one of those decisions you just have to make. You have to say, I'm gonna run hard for a couple laps, and I'm gonna start lifting, knowing that you're gonna get past, knowing that guys are going to just drive right by you, but your hope is that your tire wear will be a lot better than theirs towards the end of the run. And right now, that's going to be paramount, is tire wear, as we're going to have at least one stop, I do believe. Can't imagine they could run to the end from here, so I would imagine just one more stop if we stay green. Well, a lot less cars and a lot less, I don't know, mess maybe, but 74 and the 32 back together. That's where that last caution started from. We'll see. I mean, I can't imagine either one of these drivers want to put their playoff hopes at risk. Chris Spears back there. Just Spear, just one Spear. Back there in 7th. Be able to keep that car clean, and there goes Chris Davis around the outside of the 32 of Matt Cox. Now, going to lose another spot to Chris Spear. I think he is definitely on the saving train. You can see Blaine Wilson back there in 8th. Up front, it is Paul Gallimore with Shane Davis in tow, and Alex Coffey slowly reeling these guys in. Coffey, we'll see the times at the line, a 5.79 for Gallimore, 6.04 for Shane, and a 4.30 for Alex Coffey. So Alex is making his way up there towards the front. Kenny Coppola in chat saying he's got 2 minutes of repairs left, and he's got Brandon Fetterplace, Ed Bowles Jr. right in front of him, who are out of this thing. They're out of the sim. They're not coming back on track. He can make 3 laps and get those 2 positions. And Kenny playing the long game, playing those every point matters. He's going to come out, make a couple laps, get those 2 positions, and then probably call it a night, as he is going to be too far to make up any more positions. But smart move there for Kenny Coppola. Chris Davis driving deep into the corner. The back bumper of Tim Wortman Jr. Haven't talked about Tim too much tonight, but he has had a really good race. Started right around the top 10 position, kind of ran around outside of it for a while, and now finds himself in 4th position with a shot to win this thing. Up front, it's getting busy. Shane Davis out front. Just keep trading the lead back and forth, back and forth. Here comes Alex Coffey. 60 laps to go. Going to make his bid for this win and punch his ticket into the final round. The only driver up here in the top 3 that can do that. You got to go back to 5th position to Chris Davis before you find somebody else in striking distance. And Kenny Coppola does come out on track. Runs 3 laps. Goes from 20th to 18th. Valuable points. So if he makes it in the Final 4 by 2 points, or by a point, we'll know that that was the difference. 50 minutes of damage for the 77. Just to gain those 2 spots. on board with Alex Coffey. He definitely feels like the outside is where he wants to be. Gallimore slides up. You can see the difference in the two lines as Gallimore has to scrub off just a little bit of speed to try to hold on to it. And Coffey will clear Gallimore on the front stretch. So Coffey up to second. As his sights on Shane Davis here, and Alex Coffey looks like he is the best driver on the track at the moment. He's running faster than anybody else. And, ooh, Chris Davis got really loose off of turn 2 there. Gallimore gets a run, gonna drop down to the inside. Gallimore has not played around this race. He has been a hard man to pass and drive away from. He will just come right back and continue to fight. Does get clear of him now. We'll see if Coffey can get up there and do something with Shane, try to get this lead and drive away. Still 25 laps here on this run. I don't know if they can make it the whole way. I just don't think they can. I don't think you can make 80 laps on fuel. So we'll see when they decide to come down pit road. If they do, I still think we're a long way from that. I don't know. I don't know if these guys can make it or not. I would like to say they can make it another 25, 30 laps. I guarantee you one thing. If I come in 20 or so laps to go, I'm taking 2 tires. Oh, man, and Shane Davis gets really loose right in front of Coffey. Coffey has to take evasive maneuvers to not run into the back of him. So he got extremely loose with that 15 behind him. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm coming down pit road. I'm taking 2 tires. I'm getting just enough fuel to make it to the end, and I'm gonna send them the deuces, take the checker flag. So we'll see what they do. Of course, we have not been short on cautions here tonight, so don't know if we'll get that green flag stop. You can see there 5 cautions. 2 of them were for the stage break, so just 3 outside of that. And we've yet to see a leader pull away from drivers, as that has been sort of a story of the race, is you've not been able to get away. So we'll see if Coffey can do it or not. He definitely drove these guys down, but we've just seen that the draft be really good and just not be able to kind of run single laps. You can see already Shane Davis right back down to the inside. Just not able to spend time alone running laps out front before they come right back around you. So Coffey going to fight here on the outside to hold on to that lead, no doubt about it. But Shane definitely seems like the handling struggling on that 79. Gallimore out to the outside of the 15. He's going to get a run on the 15, and we might be 3 wide for the lead. Coffey sensed it coming as Gallimore tried to get to his outside and drove down to the apron to try to hang on to it. But, man, look, here comes Tim Wortman Jr., Chris Davis as well. As Gallimore going to get a little bit loose off the corner. And you can see Coffey just can't get away. You look like Gallimore was out of it, goes down in 3 and 4, and just drives through the middle of 3 and 4 without much issue at all. and gets right back to the door of the 15. And now it's a 4-car battle for the lead. Gallimore goes back to the lead as Chris Davis takes over fourth spot from Shane Davis. And then here comes Matt Cox roaring back up to the front. We saw him falling back, obviously for good reason, trying to save those tires, and now has an opportunity to get up here and get the lead back. And look at Tim Wortman Jr. now looking to the inside of Coffey. Coffey got the lead for about a half a lap, and now he's back here battling for second again. Just incredible racing here at Vegas. Can't really tell what line is good, what's not good, as Tim Wortman gets real wide on exit. Maybe kissed the wall a little bit with his right rear quarter panel. Now here comes Alex Coffey back. You know, I can't really tell who's good. The draft is just pretty wacky here at this track. And, yeah, it just seems like once you get out front, you're just sort of a sitting duck. After a couple laps, these cars get wound up. Look at Shane Davis trying to go to the outside of Matt Cox. And Coffey now trying to get to the outside of Gallimore, which he does. On board with Wortman here. Another little scrape of the wall. Don't want to push that. You don't want to do that very often because that wall will grab you at some point and won't let go. Trying to be patient, nowhere to go at the moment as Coffey and Gallimore continue to battle it out. Gallimore going to win out again, although he does get loose, so Coffey goes right back to the outside. Coffey might be able to clear him here. He does. Going to drive right down in front of Gallimore and just say, hey, man, he's going to back him up just a little bit. That's going to open the door for Wortman. I think Coffey just wants Gallimore to go away. He's like, man, go on. Gallimore has been really fast here tonight, and he has been fighting for the lead all race long, it seems like. Now Wortman goes to the outside. Soon as Coffey gets free of Gallimore, now he's fighting for the lead again with the 83 of Tim Wortman Jr. Coffey has a really good 1 and 2. We'll see if he slides up in front of Wortman. He is. And Tim going to elect to push him instead of taking the run down to the inside. That's going to pull everybody up along with him. And here, Wortman again through the middle of the corner. Coffey I mean, golly, I can't imagine how frustrating this race is for anybody that gets out front. It's not possible to hold it. I think Kenny was the only one who could do it for a while, but even then he was only able to to maintain about 0.7 of a second. Big shove from Matt Cox going to push Tim Wortman back down to the inside of Coffee. Good grief. We still got 40 laps to go, and Coffee trying to use his car to block any kind of runs. Obviously, you know, you'd like for the two behind you to kind of continue to run side by side, but it doesn't look like Wortman's going to be able to hold on to that second row. He's going to fall back all the way back to fourth. So Matt Cox now back to the back bumper of the 15. These guys have had issues early in the race. Will that continue here? These are two drivers that do not enjoy contact. And if you make contact, they will make contact back. And so it just becomes a catch-22 of at some point somebody's going to wreck. So these two are like oil and water if they get together and get to racing. So there's a lot that can happen here. Cox now down to the inside. Shane Davis going to go with him. Tim Wortman looks up to the outside. It's a four-way battle for the lead. Nobody has been able to get out and get away, and it continues to be a battle all the way through. Little contact there. Driving in on the door is Matt Cox leaning on that 15. Come off the corner there. They are basically holding hands out the window. Shane Davis with really nowhere to go as they bang doors again going into the corner. Shane Davis going to get to the outside of the 32. That's going to give Coffee a little bit of breathing room finally. As Cox going to get yoinked back from that side draft. He's going to fall back to third. No rest for the weary, as I'm sure Shane Davis will get right back up to that 15. But right now, wondering when pit stops are going to happen. Paul Gallimore came down pit road 2 laps ago. Nick King came down, and so did Chris Davis. So those guys electing to short pit. Saw Gallimore running up here. Fell back a little bit and has come down pit road. Here comes Matt Cox. Oh, man, he is coming in pretty quick. I think he got it down to a pit road speed, but he's really pushing it. You got to be aggressive here. Every second that you can gain on entry and exit a pit road, you got to take it. You got to try to get every single tenth that you can get because that's all going to translate on the track. So here comes Matt Cox in for his pit stop. Still waiting to see if I see anybody as Tim Wortman Jr. a little bit less aggressive, a little bit more conservative. So we'll see what the difference is between Matt Cox and Tim Wortman as Cox really pushed that entry and Wortman a little bit more conservative coming down pit road. So when will the leaders come down now? It's going to be interesting to see what the calls are. I'm still waiting on that 2-tire call. I want to see if anybody's willing to try it. You still have to get a good amount of fuel, so I don't know if you save that much time. I think if you can run it long here, maybe it's worth it. The only reason why you would take 2 tires is to save time. But if you have to take 13 seconds of fuel, you're not going to gain a whole bunch there for taking 2 tires. So it's going to take a little bit of somebody taking a long run here. And these guys who have just pitted are obviously going to come down pit road. I mean, Matt Cox is likely going to come out, or Paul Gallimore, excuse me, is likely going to come away with the lead once everything cycles around because he came down 7 laps ago. So these guys are going to have to kind of play this out. I mean, they can't wait much longer. That's for sure. You want to give yourself enough time to get back up there. Yeah, you'll create a difference. You'll create a difference as here comes Shane Davis down to the inside, or down to pit road. Ooh, he is close. Very close on speed for Shane. But I think, you know, if somebody short pits, you don't want to come down 2 laps later, you're just giving up the lead. You want to run as long as you can if you plan on running long. But you want to be careful you don't run too long. You've got to give yourself enough time for the tires to make up the difference. Saw Paul Gallimore go by Alex Coffey right there. And so he will likely rotate up to the lead as Coffey comes down pit road now with 30 laps to go. And that will give the lead over to Johnny Shade. So still about 8 drivers who have not come down pit road. Gallimore will be your leader once they all cycle around. Matt Cox is 2.5 seconds back from Paul Gallimore. Gallimore running in that 8th position. Nicholas Atwood coming down pit road. Johnny Shade still waiting on him to come down pit road. I think he's coming down right now. No, he's not. Looks like he is showing he is pitting. Goes down to the bottom. Here comes the 13. Going to give up the lead. Oh, and man, all locks them up. Trying to get down to pit road as here comes Kenny Coppola, 73 laps down. So now here's your race. Still waiting unless we have a caution. This will be your lead. Matt Cox is about 2.2 seconds back to Matt Cox, who will be your 2nd place driver. And you got Shane Davis right behind him and Nick King. Nick King will probably fade pretty quickly as he is on much older tires. He's on similar tires of Paul Gallimore, so we'll see. These two working together. They don't want to be battling it out. They want to just continue to push here and catch their other teammate, Paul, who is now 2 seconds ahead of this little group. Now, Paul came down 5 laps earlier, so the way that this will work is, nope, Shane Davis is going to go down to the inside of Matt Cox. They kind of just swap positions here, but the way this will work, I mean, their tires will be very similar, and then there will be a fall-off point where the tires that Paul Gallimore has will drop off a cliff a couple laps before these guys. So he'll have to slow up a lot more. He'll have to take it easy. He won't be able to push as hard into the corner, and these guys will make up a ton of time during those few laps. So it kind of goes through plateaus. You'll run similar lap times, and you'll drop down three or so tenths. Then you'll run the same lap times. You'll drop down 3 or so tenths, and during those plateaus, the guys on those fresher tires can make up a ton of time. So they will catch him, that's for sure. It'll just take a little bit of time. But Blaine Wilson's still out front, hoping for a caution, obviously, and he's pushing this a little bit too far. I just worry because, I don't know. I don't like this. I don't want to wait too long because you go 3 more laps, you still have to make it. You have to use 20 laps to make up the difference that these guys have made up on you on fresh tires. Now, he was a little bit further back. He definitely wasn't up front, so a little bit different strategy call, but it'll be tough to make up that time with just 20 laps to go. But he's hoping for a caution. So is Justin Belmont, who is in second. These guys, Belmont hadn't had the greatest of races. Blaine was having a really good race, and some contact there, a wreck, has put him behind the 8 ball. Yep. Brandon Bikey, who is 2 laps down. That's a development that I'm surprised to see, which, of course, he is trying to get back one lap down here once everything cycles back around, but gonna try to help his teammate a little bit. Shane Davis, Matt Cox, they are now under a second back from Paul Gallimore, who will be your leader once everything cycles back around. Here comes Blaine Wilson now, gives up the lead to come down pit road. 60 laps he ran on this tank of fuel. And Justin Belmont comes in as well, so that leaves Barry Sanders out there, the lone driver who has not yet come down to pit road. And here's your battle for the lead. Shane Davis gets a run on Gallimore, going to drive down to the inside, and he will take over what will be the lead. Currently second, and there goes Barry Sanders down pit road now. So Shane Davis, the leader, with 20 laps to go. Alex Coffey is in fourth position. He is 3 seconds back from Shane Davis as Matt Cox goes around Paul Gallimore. Gallimore just going to continue to struggle here with these the tire differentials, I do believe. Seeing a little bit of separation here between drivers, something that we haven't seen all race long. So well, coming into the points tonight, as we have about 15 laps to go, Randy Mullins had 29 above the cutoff. He's currently running in the 10th position. Just really hasn't been a factor all race long. We talked to him before the race. You know, he wanted to get some points early on in the stages, but not going to be too aggressive. He had some damage in a wreck. Not that much, but just a little bit, and he's just not really been a factor all night long. Kenny Coppola, we talked about his issues. He's still out there on the track, but going to finish in the 18th position, and that is going to be a big point loss as he didn't get any stage points. He won stage 1 but didn't get any in stage 2. Brandon Bikey, who you know, he's currently in 17th, had some damage in that wreck that Blaine Wilson was involved in, that Matt Cox was involved in. Now he's in 17th. So rough days for some of these playoff drivers. And you got Matt Cox, who was 3 above the cutoff. Now he's running in second and may have an opportunity to win this thing if he can save enough for the end of this race. Alex Coffey, who came in -3, is now running down Paul Gallimore for third. He was able to get stage 2 win, so he got some points there. So some guys really making the most out of this one. And then, you know, taking advantage of some issues from the other ones. It's going to really tighten everything up, I do think. I think Mullins still going to have a pretty decent lead, but it's going to be tight everywhere else. Chris Davis, he was, I mean, he has had a good day, and then just it started to fall. The wheel started to fall off at some point. He is back in 16th position. And then Blaine Wilson, who is was running up front, he's currently running 10th. And Justin Belmont is back in 13th. So if you had a bad day, I mean, Kenny Coppola coming home in 18th, relatively to these other playoff drivers, it's not so bad. I mean, there's quite a few drivers who are out of this one. 26 cars in the field, only 18 still running. That does lessen the blow a little bit, but it is going to be very interesting to see what the points are after this race. Alex Coffey was able to get around Paul Gallimore. And as we got about 12 laps to go, Shane Davis, non-playoff driver, with the lead. A 1.2 second advantage over Matt Cox. And Cox would love to get up there and lock himself in the playoff. That time he was a little bit faster. He's got Brandon Bikey between him and Shane. He's running out of time. They're only going to have about 10 laps to go when they cross the line. He's a second back. That time, using the draft from Brandon Bikey, he is a good bit faster. About a tenth and a half that time. So we'll see if he can make up the difference here. If he can get a little bit closer, he'll start sniffing that draft. And once he gets to about 7/10, 6/10, it'll start to pick up a little bit more. But he's going to have to break this, have to get in there first. Right now, he's still a little bit too far away. Gained a ton of time in 3 and 4. Saw him back off a little bit once they came out of pit road, trying to save a little bit of tire. Shane was really pushing it there. See if Matt was able to make up and just, oh man, just a tenth faster that time. And Alex Coffey actually catching the 32. There's the 15 right there. He's got within a second of Matt Cox. So at this point, Cox is really going to have to start cutting into this lead, or it's not going to matter. You see Randy Mullins about to go a lap down. You don't hear that very often. Randy pulls up on the outside, lets Shane go. 7 laps to go when they cross the line. Matt Cox not able to gain anything the last couple laps. Just small in half a tenth there. It's not going to be enough. This lap, though, Cox did gain quite a bit using that draft from Randy Mullins. I mean, he gained a ton of time here. We'll see at the line. He ran 0.3 of a second faster. And Shane Davis right there, a little slingshot engaged around that lap car. Now he is there. I mean, that is prime real estate for the draft. If he can get just a few tenths closer, he'll start getting the draft really good, and that's exactly what he needs. And last time he was 0.3 faster. This time, with just a few laps to go, another 0.2. He's there. We've seen that lead car be at such a huge disadvantage. You can see the difference that Matt is making up in 3 and 4. He is really fast. And a big run down this front straightaway. Of course, the mantra is always, it's easy to catch a fella, it's hard to pass a fella. Nobody says that, I just say it. But you hear them say it in real life all the time. But I think the way this draft has been working, I think once Cox gets within this 0.3 of a second bubble, he's going to get a massive run. Just will he be able to complete the pass? And Coffey would love for him to get up here and start battling as soon as possible to help him catch up, because he's right there. 3 laps to go at Las Vegas. We got a battle for the lead. Cox has every advantage that he could possibly ask for. He's been really good in 3 and 4. Can he continue that? Getting a big run here. 2 laps to go. He's going to have to do something quick. He's going to get this done. You got the Trapper Keeper, number 79, Beast Mode Performance. Out front. Shane breaking the draft down the back straightaway. This is where Cox has been the best, though this time I'm not quite sure. Oh, and Shane Davis gets a little bit loose. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go in Vegas. Can Cox get him? Blocks him perfectly. Shane overdrives the corner just a little bit, opens a door. 1 more opportunity for the 32. Drives down in the corner, can't get to the back bumper. Can he get the run? He's been good through 3 and 4, gets to the outside. Jump's gonna go down to the inside, but no matter. Shane Davis is gonna win here at Vegas. What a great race there at the end. And honestly, that move was perfect on Shane's part. Blocked him just perfectly in that 1 turn, and that was all that it took. If he had guessed wrong, I think Cox may have had an opportunity there. But Matt couldn't drive through him. And Shane Davis going to be your winner here tonight. He'll do burnouts down on the front stretch. Burnouts for the 79. Well, all right, let's get in here and get some interviews going. Talk to these drivers, and then we'll let you get out of here. It's been a long one. 2 hours and 20 minutes so far for this race. It is a long one. All right, let's get him up into the booth. Shane Davis takes the win here tonight. What a great race, Shane. That was a lot of fun. It wasn't easy there at the end, though, was it?
No, I was extremely tight there at the end, and Cox was coming.
Well, yeah, I mean, he had a pretty good race. Started inside the top 5. He started 5th exactly. And it seemed like it was really racy out there. It seemed like you couldn't really get away. That draft just really strong here at Vegas in these cars. And so it just created sort of a chaos scenario of racing. And, you know, it seemed like you had a pretty fast piece in that number 79 machine. Tell me a little bit about your race.
Went really smooth. Went out, tried to push it a little too hard in stage 1. Ended up falling off, burning the right front off it a little bit. Went out in stage 2, just kind of executed, just was going a little soft. Kind of got a feel for my car. I did a couple official races this week, and I knew that the strategy I wanted to take when that caution come out at 120, I knew everybody else would take 4 tires, so I stretched it to 170 there with 30 laps to go, took 2 tires. I was able to hold off Cox. I was a little worried when he got a hold of Randy Mullins' draft there. Really pulled him up a good couple tenths, and he was able to get my draft off of it and really sucked him right up to my rear. and he ran a great race. Got to thank the Beast Mode guys uh, for all the work they put in this week. And
Well, all right. Well, there you have it. Your winner here tonight. Non-playoff driver takes the victory and does it with spectacular fashion. Looks like you got your car looks like a trapper keeper, man. Somebody was saying they like the paint scheme. I liked it too. It was very shiny and looked like 90s fever dream. I like it. So, but man, congratulations. Go celebrate this win. You definitely earned it here tonight. And as always, man, who do you have to thank?
I got to thank everybody at Beast Mode. Everybody put in a lot of time. I was running one of Kenny Coppola's sets tonight. Did a fantastic job on it this week at Vegas. Got to thank my brother Chris, my wife for watching, all the guys at Martin Sports, and you guys putting on a great broadcast.
Well, there you have it. Shane Davis, your winner here tonight. And we'll move right on to Matt Cox, your second place finisher, as he, man, so close. I mean, one arrow block away from getting the victory here tonight, Matt. You come home in second. You would have locked yourself into the final four. How you feeling after that race?
Yeah, it was a good race. We had a good run. I obviously wish we could have locked in, but uh, can't complain about second, I guess.
No, and it seemed like you were out there making a lot of friends. You were being aggressive, leaning on guys. Guys were leaning on you. As that seemed to be the tone going forward for all the playoff guys. Just hey, we gotta get everything you can get here on during these races.
I think that's kind of been the tone all year to an extent. I mean, it's been a pretty aggressive league. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's fine as long as everybody gets through unscathed and nobody's wrecked. I think we're good. Rubbin's racing, right?
I always said they put bumpers on this for a reason. I mean, you had a fast piece tonight. You came down pit road, and Shane comes out, takes 2 tires, and I wondered if anybody was going to do that call, and he did, and it worked out pretty well for him. 2 tires has been pretty strong here for some reason in this car track combo. Did you ever consider taking 2 tires, or what was your call when you came down pit road?
No, I didn't really consider. I think I mean, I didn't win the race, but I think I made the right call. I could have won the race. I just, at that point, you get air blocked, and if you don't, get tight and slide up the track, then you're just running into them. So kind of got a tippy toe around people whenever it's that late in a run, and I wasn't willing to, you know, do everything I had to do.
Well, still, I mean, as far as points go and all the other guys in front of you that had trouble, I mean, really solid night for that 32 machine. So, congratulations on the second place finish. As always, man, who do you have to thank?
Yeah, just want to thank everybody on the team. We all had a good run. Shout out to Paul. He had a really, really strong run. I think he had the car to beat. If he maybe would have timed his pit stop a little bit differently, I think he would have been tough to beat. But yeah, everybody we raced with, always good fun on Wednesdays.
All right, well, there you have it. Second place finisher, Matt Cox. And then we'll get your third place finisher, your stage 2 winner, Alex Coffey. Kind of similar situation. You and Matt having good nights with guys having issues ahead of you in points. So you got to feel pretty good about that. You got that stage 2 win and the third place. How you feeling after that race?
Kind of frustrated with myself a little bit there, but it was a good run overall, so we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, you were really pushing hard there at the end to try to get caught back up. After that, you kind of ran a little bit long there on that pit stop. What was the decision there to run longer versus your competition there?
Um, I just knew Vegas eats some tires, and I wanted to be able to really go all out on the last run. Not have to think about saving or anything. But Shane took 2 the lap before me. I took 4. When I got to the box, I seen my left side percentages on the tires were 80 and 90, and I was like, probably could have took 2 and been all right. Then I pulled out of the pits and saw Shane 6 seconds ahead, and I was like, I already knew. What he did. He took 2, so it was just trying to reel him down at that point. We ran out of time.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, guys having trouble in front of you. Randy Mullins didn't have the greatest of nights. He comes home in 13th. Kenny Coppola out, and he finished 18th. Brandon Bikey finished 17th. You were 3 below the cutoff. It's a good day for points. So, I think this definitely went well for you tonight. So, congratulations on that 3rd place finish, man. And as always, man, who you got to thank?
Shout out to my teammates, Blaine, Nigel, and Johnny, and Caden. Shout out to Barry from all the admins for putting the league on every week. And shout out to my mom for watching and you for doing the broadcast as always. And hopefully we can have a good run at Homestead. I'm not a huge fan of that track, but if we get a good setup, we hopefully can be strong there.
All right. Well, there you have it. 3rd place finisher, Alex Coffey here tonight. Well, that's going to do it for us. We'll jump through the results real quick. Tim Wortman Jr. going to come home in the 4th position. Paul Gallimore in 5th. Chris Spear with a great run in 6th position. Nick King in 7th. Blaine Wilson does recover for an 8th place finish. Johnny Shade, 9th. Good night for Dig Esports. I'm not even sure if it's Dig Esports. What is it? Just Dig, I think. I don't know. Johnny Shade at 9th. Nicholas Atwood in the 10th position. In 11th, Aaron Matthews, Justin Belmont. Not the greatest run for him tonight, but comparatively, with that damage, stayed in it. Come home with the 12th position. I think he's probably wishing he had gotten a little bit more, but hey, it could have been a whole lot worse. Randy Mullins in 13th, Caden Norfrey in 14th, Barry Sanders 15th, Chris Davis in 16th, though he's disappointed these next 3 for sure. Brandon Bikey in 17th, Kenny Coppola in 18th. They're going to have some work to do next week at Homestead. Brandon Fetterplace in 19th, and Ed Bull Jr. in 20th. 21st, Ryan Hubb, Nigel Christensen in 22nd, Warren Young 23rd, Matt Mackin in 24th, Matt Metler in 25th, Jordan Schmeets in 26th, and he'll round out the field with the connection issue. I don't think he ever turned one single lap. Well, want to thank Ram for their sponsorship of this race here tonight for the Ram 302 here at Las Vegas. I want to thank OB Builders for their sponsorship of the Cup Series, and we're going to get out of here. Thank y'all so much for watching. If y'all liked it, hit the like button, comment, or hit that subscribe button. We definitely appreciate it. We'll see y'all next week as we'll take on Homestead. Bring your shorts. You're going to need them.